Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and His Son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 20th of February 2024. The time is 22:37 hours, 10:37 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to do like a trade setup video on ES tomorrow, for tomorrow on the 21st. Right, so looking at the news calendar here, basically we don't have any news. We have FOMC member Bostic speaks at 8 a.m. Right, so before the market opens, we have this Fed member speaking, and then we have FOMC meeting minutes. Actually, at 1 we have FOMC member Bowman speaks, and then at 2 p.m. we have FOMC meeting minutes. Right, so that's going to be a big shaker right there. That's a red book, so that'll probably move the market, right? So this is what I'm thinking for tomorrow, right? So let me go over here to the monthly chart, right? So looking at the monthly chart here, I have these VWAP lines, but I also have these Wyckoff-Teary levels, right? Now I'm not gonna go over all of these levels, but they're just support and resistance levels basically, right? But I'm not gonna go over all of these right now. The most important one we're looking at right now is the buying climax on the monthly, which is at 50.2825, right? So that's that resistance right there, buying climax on the monthly, right? Now you can see that we got rejection from here. This created the buying climax back here at when the market topped out in 2022, right? So we're back up here again, and we're getting this wick rejection. We're getting this swift rejection off of it, right? So going down to the weekly here. Actually, before we go down to the weekly, let me just throw these back on. Let's see, is this one? No. Right. So this is the second upper deviation band, and that when you lose that, you usually get like a rejection of that area, and we pull down to the first upper deviation band. So this is the second one. Let me just use my right. So this is the second upper deviation band. Right, providing resistance. You see, we got resistance there from this prior month. We had the pullback off of that upper deviation, second upper deviation, and let's see here. That's now kind of like where price is at right now, right? So we're looking at that for either. I think it's a little below price right now, but let me just move down to the weekly chart. Right, so when looking at the weekly chart, it's actually at 5,000, right? So we had this breakdown of it. We broke down from it before, but we had buyers coming here around 49.36.75, right? So this candle here is showing it's actually low volume selling so far in the month. So I mean in the week, right? But it's been a short week, so that's understandable. So we're actually losing that resistance right there, and that's indicating some pullback, right? But it looks like we're having buyers sitting here at 49.40 area, right? So going down to the daily chart here. Now, why I have this label here, low volume zone, prior rejections, is because of this this volume pointer control. So this one, right? So I actually combined two of them. They're anchored from different areas, right? So these purple lines here, these two purple lines, they're low volume areas, right? So something that the volume profile theory has is that when you get swift rejections from these areas, which we actually got, right? So you can see those wicks. big pullback selling from these low volume areas, big selling from these low volume areas, and now we're breaking the second upper deviation band. So it's indicating some bullish action, right? But this is the thing I'm looking at with this, some bearish action. So this is one thing I'm looking at right now with this. The selling to me is looking too controlled at certain levels for it to be really like a bearish, like people are shorting it and putting pressure. I think it's just like it's like a big player. I call him King Bear. He's just liquidating some contracts up at this level and looking forward to like something like FOMC minutes tomorrow to actually buy back up the market, right? So this is basically what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking we're gonna buy back up the market up to these levels, right? So this 5,000 level here, they're just kind of moving around this level here before we really break above or break out of this. Let's see here where we have that. The monthly buying climax. I want to go back to that real quick. So that level is at 50,000, 5,028.25, right? So that level right there is key, right? That's the breakout level for us to go up to like a up trust. And I think I have, let's see, right. So this is my measured move here. I'm looking for it to go to like 5,300, right? For up trust. A potential up trust range is up at 5,300. That's just my calculations, right? That's just my opinion. And right, so going back to the weekly chart here. This is where we have that this low volume area. Actually, let's go down to the daily, right? So we have that low volume area there. We're getting those rejections, but we're getting buyers coming back in, right? So what I think King Bear is doing is he is offloading some contracts, buying it back up at lower prices, like these buying wicks right here, buying wicks to today, right? Now I think he's gonna let it come back down to like these prior lows, might even sweep some stops here. Probably get to like 49 for the lowest maybe. I don't know exactly where he's gonna stop, but I think buyers are gonna come in after this Fed minutes comes in. And one thing I'm looking at right now, right, let me just go down to the weekly chart. I have these weekly levels on this chart here, right? So as we started the session, we're creeping down a little bit. Now, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, actually, let me point this out real quick. So today we lost this this weekly value area low level, right? Now, as you can see, the buyers came in, right? So to me, King Bear pushing price down, right? Not going too hard and just buying it back up as we come down to these levels. So you see these big buying wicks right here, right? Now, whoever is trying to ride his coattails, they're long from this area here, right? Now, we could get potential stop sweeps and just take them out, right? Now, to me, my theory is that King Bear doesn't need to worry about stops, right? He could buy at whatever level it comes down to. But these guys who smaller money has to worry about their stops being in this area here. Right, so that's coming down to like about 49.48, 49.50, right? All around these areas, we will see, you know, if it does get through to this level and sweep stops, we could get a nice little flush down into that area. Now, what I'm looking for is that King Bear steps in and becomes a bull again and really pushes price up after this Fed minutes, or if we get a big spike back into the weekly value area level, right? So I'm looking for price to push back up into this level. We're gonna hit the buying climax on the monthly again, 50.28. So somewhere around this level here, I'm looking for us to come back in this level from around this area here, like 49.72 or something like that. So that'll be like around, let's say we get down to these lows, come back up to around this level, like 53 points, right? Somewhere around there, like 50 points just to come back into value, the weekly value, right? So I'm kind of looking out for something like that. So let me just throw on the Camarillas, right? So right here we have for the week, we have an overlapping lower value relationship on the weekly. All right, so that's Camarilla R3. And that's moved down a little bit. It hasn't moved down past prior Camarilla S3. And Camarilla S3 has moved down a little bit to this level here. It's now at 49.84. And R3 is at 50.64.75, right? So Camarilla S3, we're actually sitting on that right now, the weekly Cam S3. And let's just see here. This is like if we do come down to sweep some stops. This is weekly Camarilla S4 at 49.48.25. So I'm looking at that for like some real support buying right here. If we do get to this level, I want to catch a reversal somewhere around this level, right? Because I know the stops are coming out. If the buyer is stepping around here, to me it's go time to come back into value, right? Now let's see here. Let's take off the Camarillas and throw on the central pivots, right? So there's no real central pivots in play down at this level here. We have previous week's low at 49.36.50, but we already lost the central pivot range, right? So that's the central pivot range right there. So we already lost that. We lost weekly value area low, and now we're below value, right? Let me just throw these on. This is the weekly VWAP, right? So weekly anchored VWAP. Now, these here, this is the second lower deviation band. So this is actually lining up with like a Camarilla S4 level, right? So this is at 49.53. This one here is at 49.48. So anything around this level again, looking for support buys right here, right? Now we're actually on the first lower deviation band, which is correlating with Camarilla S3. Let me just make that bigger right there so you can see that. Right? So we're above that support right there. I'm actually thinking we're going to break down that support and probably sweep some stops, right? So looking out for that. Let's see here. Let's go down to the 5-minute chart. Right, so for a trade setup tomorrow, let's see, take off this Camarillas, take off the pivots. Right, so I have these labeled overnight high, overnight mid, overnight low. So in the morning, actually, before the market opens, I just set these levels so I can see what's the overnight high, overnight mid, overnight low, right? While prices are moving around. So now, so this was the previous low. And as you can see, hold on one second. Right, so in the ETH here, the overnight, we're creeping down, creating lower highs. We started to move kind of sideways here a little bit, looking like it might do a little reversal here, because we are actually at weekly cam S3, so that's creating that support right there as I showed you previously, right on the 1-hour chart. So we could get like a little retest, right? Somewhere push above here a little bit, but I want to see us coming down here into the ETH, right? I mean into the RTH, and probably before the Fed minutes. Well, I know in Nvidia has earnings. I think their earnings is coming out like later on. I think it's after the session. I'm not sure, but all of that will be affecting trading tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I really want price to kind of start creeping down before the Fed minutes at 2 p.m. Right? So I want it to start creeping down, and I'll probably be on the short side of things. So let's see here. Right. So well, it's either short or long, right? Because we could be getting like this is Camarilla S3 here at 49.74 75. And let me just double check something real quick. And the weekly Cam S3 is at 49.84, right? And the daily Camarilla is at 49.74, which is 10 points below here, right? So I'm looking for price to probably come down, and we're actually in a, let's see here, it's in an overlapping lower value relationship on the day. This will be Camarilla R3 at 5,008.30, and this was prior day's Camarilla S3, so it's a little lower, almost made it to a lower value day, but it's still overlapping lower value because we didn't, Camarilla R3 did not break down further than Camarilla S3 today. Well, yeah, for the 21st, right? So this is a rejection area here for a short. Like if at this is how I'm gonna look at it, right? If at 2 p.m. when the Fed minutes is coming out, if we're up here, I'm looking to short it, right? As it comes out, the dust clears, I'm looking to short it for it to come back down. Now, if we move down during the day, I'm looking to, let's say we're at 2 p.m., we're around this level, Camarilla S4, like 49.57, or maybe even Camarilla S3. I'm going to look to buy it, right? Because I think if we're at a certain support level when the minutes come out, I think we're going to get buys. If we're at a resistance level, I think we're going to get sells. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it tomorrow. Let's see. Take this off. All right, so we have flow pivot S1 at 49.53, so that's lining up with Camarilla S4, so it's roughly in the same area, 49.57, 49.53, and S2 is down here at 49.37, right? So all of these areas here are some support levels that I'll be kind of looking at, right? Right, and I wanted to point out this as well. So we already lost value for the upcoming day already because the value area low is at 49.9225, right? And we already got rejection off of that. We came up, we tested it, tried to move into value and lost that immediately, right? So big selling out of value, right? So shorts taking it down. So basically, I don't want I don't want price to be moving up tomorrow into the Fed meeting because I want it to go long. I want it to recover from where it is to push back up. So this price action here, I'm liking this price action in the ETH, and let's continue into the RTH, just moving down. And as the Fed minutes come out, then we just get the buy reversal. That's the play I'm looking for. Right, so that's basically my plays right there. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, just kind of looking at the past market, well, like the recent market activity, and I'm kind of thinking, well, yeah, I call him King Bear. He's kind of offloading contracts to try and get some better prices, some lower prices, and I think this is what he's doing here. when you get these reversals, right? So hold on. So you get these big selling in the market, and immediately you get these reversals, right? To me, all of that is just you get the big selling again, come back down, you buy it up, right? In the ETH, moving down, and they're just gonna buy it up again. That's how I'm looking at it, right? So I'm not thinking it's like a big market change where we're turning bearish now and stuff like that. I just think it's reaccumulation to actually break those highs of like 50, 28 and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So the value area high is at 50, 28, 75. That's kind of lining up with the buying climax on the monthly 50, 28, 25. So who knows how far it could actually get tomorrow if King Bear turns into a bull again and decides to really buy up the Fed minutes release. You know what I'm saying? So that's my trade setups for tomorrow. Looking for like some reversal plays early in the RTH. Let's say we open somewhere around the central pivot range, like we come back up to test value area low. Any kind of rejections here at let's see, let me show you. So any kind of push up here, probably try to poke in just like we did here, and just take basically the same kind of play, right? So if we pushing up, get the rejection, and take this this play right here is basically what I'm looking for in the RTH open, right? And then we're gonna move down and get the reversal. So I'm looking for that to happen at like a nice significant level of like value area low, right? Which is at 49.92.25. All right, y'all. So that's my trade plan, trade setup for tomorrow. And I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all. It's Malak Shalomo. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.